Hey, what's good, YouTube? And welcome to Loving Life Insurance. My name is Cherry, and this is my channel. This is my first channel, first time ever doing anything like this. So please excuse any, hiccups, any errors. Please just excuse that. Excuse those for love. Again, thank you for being here with me. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Please share this video if you have a friend or a family or someone who may be interested in getting their life insurance, their producer's license. Yeah, hook them up with this channel. This channel is dedicated for you newly licensed agents. I'm going to give you some tips, some nuggets. I'm going to also be giving you some questions to ask different agencies once you start that process of trying to find an agency to work with. I'm going to be giving you tips and, like I said, questions on what to ask to make sure that you are choosing the best agency for you. Okay, so please, again, hit that like and that subscribe, and we're going to go ahead on and get into what do you need to do to get your license. Okay, so I'm a licensed life and health producer in the state of Georgia. Okay, and so the first step that you need to do is, first of all, you need to decide what type of license you want. Okay, and what I mean by that, do you want to get your license in life, in health? Do you want to get your license in property and casualty? Do you want a license being an adjuster? Decide what type of license you want. Okay, that's the first thing you need to do. Secondly, whichever one you decide, and I'm going to be talking about life and health because I did the combo. Okay, so I have my license in life and health, and you have to take state approved pre-licensing courses. Okay, and again, kings, queens, these courses must be approved by your state. Okay, so I'm in the state of Georgia, so I took my courses through America Professors. Okay, and America Professors is known. It was actually a really good course. Now give or take, I did already know some things because I worked with an insurance company as a claims rep, so I already knew a bit of information. But it was a really good course. I was really surprised. So yeah, it's America Professors. I paid for the combo of life and health. I paid about $220. It is a 6-month course, meaning you have 6 months to complete the course. Okay, and it's self-paced, so it all depends on you. But you really want to, I don't want to say you want to rush, okay, because you want to make sure you read the information and you're knowledgeable enough to pass the exam anyway, to take the exam. But again, it's a really good course. I will leave the website, or you can just Google it, okay, America Professors, and just choose what course you want. Okay, so after you do the courses, I believe it's like 40-hour courses, 20 for life, 20 for health. But after you take your courses, okay, once you pass, you'll then get a certificate of completion. Okay, and so the third thing you do, so you would take that certificate of completion, and then you will take your state exam. Okay, so again, I took the state exam for life and health. Okay, it really wasn't that hard. Okay, but a lot of people don't pass it their first try. I did. But again, I also work with policies. Okay, but basically they just kind of talk about your state laws. What are the difference? What's the difference between whole life and term life? What are the difference between variables and universal variable policies? So it's really not that difficult. So yeah, you would take your state exam, okay? The state exam, I believe here in Georgia, it may have been $50, $50, $60. But you can just, again, Google the state exam in your state. And so you would take that state exam, and you have to pass the exam with at least a 70%. Okay, so again, you have to pass the exam with at least a 70%. Okay, now don't worry if you don't pass it. You can take the exam again. Okay, within not a few hours, but I believe it's like 24 hours, or the next day you can take the exam again. Now, if you fail it again, that second go round, then you do have to wait a couple of months before you take it the third time. Okay, so yeah, so you take your state exam, you pass your state exam. We're already claiming that you pass your state exam with at least a 70%. So once you pass your state exam, you will then send your certificate of completion saying that you completed your courses, your pre-licensing courses, and you will also submit your license exam to a company. This company is NIPR, which is National Insurance Producer Registry. So this is where all the producers will register at. Again, that's NIPR. Okay, and you would just submit your information there. Okay, it does take, you would answer some questions, some background questions, criminal questions. Okay, and it takes a few weeks to actually get your license. So let me just pause right here for a moment, because I do want to say this. All right, so for years, okay, a very long time, I have heard that if you have a criminal background or if you are a felon, you cannot get your license. You cannot be a producer and agent. And that is a lie, okay? And I only know that's a lie because guess what? I have a criminal background and I am a felon. Not putting my business out there, okay? But it is what it is, right? I am a felon and I have my license, okay? So you can get your license with a criminal background. And yes, even if you are a felon. Okay, now my felony did not have anything to do with anything violent. It did not have anything to do with like fraud or anything like that. No securities, okay? But I do have a felon, all right? And I was still able to get my license. And keep in mind, even with that background, I'm still working with an insurance company, okay? So I did want to just put that out there to encourage people with a criminal background. Still apply, okay? God is good. And I'm going to say that again. God is good. He can turn any and everything around, okay? He'll make it where for whatever reason, it just don't show up on your record. I know he can do that because he has done it for me before, all right? So you apply, you put in all the information. You want to be honest as you can, okay? So the only thing, if you do have a criminal background, you do have to go, you have to go to the courthouse because you have to submit all those documents, okay? Legal documents. Even if you were on probation, you have to submit those documents that your probation was satisfied, that fees were paid. So it was a bit tedious, okay? And at one point it was even a little bit of, it was tedious, and it was also a little bit, I kind of got discouraged because some of my charges were so old, they could not find the charges, okay? And I actually had to get letters from a judge stating that, look, these charges are old, we can't find them, there are no records. So again, it's a little tedious if you do have a background, but stick to it. Okay, I'm here to tell you, do it, do the work, get that information. And it was constant. I was down there on my lunch breaks. I took days off to go down there to the courthouse, and I sat for hours. Look, I need this information. I even wrote letters, so it can be done. Okay, but yeah, once you get that information, you submit it in the NIPR registry. Again, it probably took me less than a month before they actually sent me my certificate saying that I was a licensed agent in the state of Georgia. Okay, so yay, I did that. Okay, it took me a while. And again, the number one reason why it took me so long is because I was under the impression that, hey, I'm a convicted felon. I can't get any license. Okay, but that was a lie from the devil. Okay, so go out, get your license, do your thing. Okay, and you know, from there, after you get your license and you complete all that information, I kind of left out. You do have to do go do fingerprinting. Okay, that's like $75, I believe it was. But you do have to register, go get your fingerprinting, do a little background check. But again, that entire process, you know, took about like 30 days total for everything. Okay, so just really quick, just gonna run down. First thing, decide what type of license you want. Secondly, you have to take the courses, okay, the pre-licensed approved courses through an approved agency. America Professors is who I went with. So once you complete your courses and you get your certificate, you then have to submit your certificate, and you have to apply for your take your certificate, and you have to register to take your state exam. You must pass your state exam with the 70 or above. Once you pass your state exam, you would take your certificate and you will apply to the NIPR website, answer all those criminal questions, background questions, do your fingerprinting, and boom, you're licensed. Okay, and from there it's kind of, I would say, smooth sailing, you know, but that's just the beginning. Okay, but that's the gist of getting your license. Okay, you can be licensed in all 50 states if you would like. Okay, some states you have to go through the same process. You have to do the fingerprinting. Most of the states, you have to still do the fingerprinting again. Okay, you may not, depending on the state, you may not have to take your state exam again, but for sure, the fingerprinting in the background, you'll have to do again for most states. Okay, but again, that's just the gist of it. What you need to become a licensed producer in your state. I really hope this helps. Please, if you have any questions, just send me a message. I will reply. Again, if you have any friends, if you know any family, anybody who's interested in getting their license, you know, send them to my YouTube, to my channel. Please subscribe. And yeah, I'll be here. And my next video is basically going to be about not really how to choose an agency, but we're going to talk about the different types of agencies, such as you know, you have an independent agent, then you have a captive agent. You also have like different organizations like IMOs, you have MLMs. We're going to discuss all of that so that you can find the right one that's best for you. Oh, and I will tell you this. So when I was looking for my agency, it was a waste of time. I'm just going to keep it real. Okay. It was coming off as an interview, like I was being interviewed to be hired for a job. And no, I changed that. I kind of changed the game. I said, oh no, I'm not working for anybody. I'm independent. I'm working for myself. This is a partnership. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a tip on what I did. Okay, and when I did this, I didn't have to look for agencies. They came to me. Okay, so again, that created really, I kind of got overwhelming responses from agencies. All right, and so I'm gonna give you that tip so that you can do the same. I'm gonna let you know the questions you need to ask when you are talking to that agency, because again, it's a partnership. Nobody working for nobody. Okay, you'll be a 1099 depending on if you do an independent. Okay, and there are questions you need to ask because look, these agencies will try to get over on you. Okay, because you don't know. It is what it is. You don't know, so they try to get over, but nope. I'm gonna give you the questions to ask, okay? But another thing I want to say before I end this: make sure you know what type of what's your plan, what's your vision, okay? One of my main things I wanted to do was to educate, okay, my people on life insurance, final expense, okay? Hold gatherings. I want to do seminars. I want to educate us because we don't have life insurance, okay, or final expense. So our loved ones die, okay, and we have to do GoFundMe, or aunts and uncles have to take out mortgages, second mortgages on their homes to pay, for funeral expenses. So I want to educate us, okay, and all that is going to be in this channel, okay. So again, that's about all I have to say right now. Again, if you have any questions, please leave your comments. I will respond. And yeah, I'll get back with you. And again, just check that notification so when I do drop this next video that you are really going to want to listen to, okay? It's really going to help you. You'll get that notification, all right, when I drop that content. It's really important, and you're gonna really be appreciative of it. You're gonna really love it, because yeah, I changed the game. It changed the game with the responses that I got, and I looked at things a little differently. Okay, so peace, blessings, kings and queens. I love you all. I don't have to know you to love you. Okay, you pray for me, I'll pray for you. Let's keep each other lifted up. And until next time, smooches.